Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.
What's up, gang? Welcome to the Grindcast. Simon Arias here. Get ready, it's a new day.
You know, let's
Speaking of meeting them head on, what does that word adversity mean to you when you hear that word?
Oh, it's adverse. It's just challenge. Let's go. You know, I mean, that's what it means. Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Get it. You know, you say it can't be done. I'm the first one to be like, let's do it. You know, we're going to climb that hill.
I was talking to a good friend of mine recently, you know, Marcus, and I'm like, man, I like no obstacles, adversity, catastrophes, but it feels like personally, because I grew up with so much chaos, I'm at my best during chaos. It's like
so too.
when the chaos comes, instead of me running,
you run to it.
Everybody, and I'm not patting myself on the back. Just everybody knows it's going to be an elevation when there's shots fired.
Yeah.
It's being able to handle that adversity. I was going to ask you, what things stand out to you about just being successful in general in business? You know, what tips could you give to somebody, or 3 things stand out to you, traits of people to build a business or to be successful?
You just be honest. Be honest to yourself, and be honest to your business, and be honest to the people that you're dealing with. You know,
you'll be ahead of 90% of the people doing that.
I think so too. I think if you do that, I mean, just be honest, and expectations are another thing. You know, just live in your expectations, set them, get them, and then just move on to the next set. You know, set your goals, keep going. Don't let people tell you that you can't do things. Right. You know, don't let someone say, "Oh, I got a felony DUI. I can't do this," or "I've gotten in trouble," or you know, what I mean, don't let that hold you back. You know, it's a new day. You know, just get out there every day and do your best, man. Put 100% in.
For sure.
And I'm telling you, and 100% of the time, things are going to go.
People always say, man, if they can do something over, what would you do over? If you had a chance to do something over, like what would you do from the beginning to end?
I would invest it in Bitcoin, I guess. You know what I mean?
Bitcoin?
Not recently.
No, like 5
waiting for it.
Yeah, in 2010 when I came home, I took all that, a couple dollars I had, put it in Bitcoin. But other than that, you know what? I think what I've done in my life has made me who I am today. Yeah. I think it's made me the father that I am. I think it's made me the friend that I am, and it's made me, you know, the businessman that I am. There was a long time that I thought that my story would hinder things that I did, like would stop me from doing like the bigger, nicer, better jobs. And I was in a house a couple of years ago, you know, nice house, huge, beautiful home. And this lady came up and was like, "Hey, can I give you a hug? I read your story." You know what I mean? And I have a son who battled through addiction in prison and this and that. And unfortunately, we lost him. And I just want to tell you that you give us hope, you know, that your story really inspires us and gives us hope. So thank you. And from, I think, that point on, I'm thinking, wow, maybe it isn't, you know, I mean, maybe it needs to be told a little bit more. Maybe people need to know that.
Sometimes you wonder if the struggle wasn't a calling of it had to be you to make it to the other side, because now you're the person that can explain and inspire other people to say it can be done.
Right. Sometimes I feel like, you know, like the catalyst, like, you know what I mean, where other people have stopped and said, "Hey, you know what I mean, I'm not going any further." I'm like, just put another 10 pounds on my back and let's keep going. You know, let's go.
Speaking of on your back, you got a bunch of tattoos on your back. Perm wanted to know, you know, about your tattoos.
You got some nice tattoos.
What are you got them all over? This one looks a little fresh.
A couple of stuff like what
memorable. Which one do you think stands out the most, or what meaning to something on there?
So I am pretty much covered. You know, everything but my chest and stomach. The rest of me is covered. I'll tell you, on my back, I have a cross with my wife's face in the middle of it. Behind it, it's behind it. It's like 3D. And then all my 4 children are angels around the cross, and at the bottom it's like skulls and buried, like my past, like, you know, pretty much like I had to go through hell to get to heaven where I am and live in this life that I am. And then it reminds me constantly that, you know, they all watch out for me. They all got my back. No matter how much I think that I'm taking care of them, they're taking care of me through, like, you know, words and love and just always encouraging me to do better. And so that's one. And then my leg, I've let my kids pick. I know nothing about about comic books and Marvel or any DC stuff like that. But I've let my children pick everything on my right leg, and there's like the Hulk and
It's Catwoman,
and Batman, and
wow.
I'll tell you, I'll be out in places and people will come up to me.
So
and
you let them just camouflage my leg, whatever.
all
they
of
want me
it,
to
yeah,
do, I'm gonna
every
go do
bit of it. My one right leg is
That's tight.
That's tight.
If my daughter came and said she wanted Hello Kitty on my foot, I'd put it on there. I guess
neat, okay.
but that's all them.
That's nice.
And I'll be out and people will ask me, and I'll tell them like, listen, I really don't even know who they are. But my kids picked them, so we put them on there. Yesterday, my son picked the Hulk, so we put him in the back there. So
Recent?
yeah, that was
That's
last
a new
night.
one?
Yeah, last
Yesterday.
How long?
last night. I was in there for 5 hours.
5
getting that one
hours.
done. Yeah, I'm getting older
nice.
though. They hurt.
Oh,
They hurt bad.
they hurt. They hurt
hurt
me
bad.
too. Firm's my moral support when I get tats. Now we go together.
we go together.
Like Firm's like, what are we doing? I'm like, we're going to get tatted.
You need that
For your moral support.
You need that moral
We
support.
got it. Come on, Simon. You got another hour. You got another 30 minutes. Let him stretch for a minute. You can tell it.
Yeah, let him get up, man. He's
We
been there
talked
pretty long.
about how long the tat take. In the beginning, starting your business, your first couple years in business.
Yeah.
How much time do you think you put into your business first building it, starting out?
I would say probably 22 hours a day. You know what I mean? Wow. Every minute of every day was like trying to make a brand. Not only
Must be nice.
It was nice. Yeah, those 2 hours of sleep were great. I mean, I enjoyed them. But we were building more than just a business. I think we were building a brand. I think we were building like a culture. We were trying to build. We were just trying to build something better. Where we wanted all of our employees to realize that we cared about them. And we looked out for them, and we wanted them to be better also. But we were in there. I mean, I didn't know either. Too. I didn't come from a construction background. My first big construction job, I Googled it on my way to the meeting.
That's great.
I didn't know nothing about it. Like I got a call and they were like, "Hey, do you want to do 40,000 square foot of flooring?" And I'm like, "Let's go, yeah, let's try it." So on the way there, I'm like Googling it. I'm getting the prices, like median price for Pittsburgh, PA. And I said, "Look, we either make us or break us." So we won the bid, and then we left, and then we had to figure out how to do it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
So we leave, and I'm like, "What are we gonna do? We got to figure this stuff out." So I go, and I find a guy who I knew that was a union towel setter. Well, actually, she was a girl that used to work for us. Her husband was a union towel setter. We call him up. He's like, "Hey, I'm laid off." I'm like, "Cool. Will you do this?" Like, literally, if I don't lose money, I'm happy. I don't care if I break even. It's just a stepping stone to get us to where we need
Get
to
the
be.
job. Yeah.
So he came. He brought a couple of his guys. We knocked it out. We killed it. Then they was like, "Hey, you guys want to do all the drywall?" And I'm like, "Sure. We'll do it." So we start drywall, and then we did the paint. Then I met Josh Adamak down in Lawrenceville. I get a phone call. They call me up and they're like, "Hey, we got a guy that needs his building painted. You interested?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So I go down and we met him. We measure it up, man. We talk and we hit it off from that moment on. I started painting Josh's projects. 3 years later, I built all of his new construction for him. And what a relationship! What a great guy he is too.
Great dude.
He is.
Great dude.
So, and I've learned a lot from him, and I so we
That's how we all really started to get connected.
that's how we
through
all
Josh.
started through Josh and Emery, and then he just started, and Ryan, and we just grew to like this big family of not only business side but real personal side as well.
So when people, the must be nice. This is what I try to encourage people on, man. Is they look at the end result, and they're like, "Man, you must have got lucky. You must have been, But how about 22-hour days?
That's it.
hours sleep.
How about a couple hours of sleep? How about taking the job, saying yes, and I'll figure it out, and finding a way, like, I don't even care if I break even. I just want to launch from this. It ain't even about the money. I want to prove myself to people in things of that nature. You know what I mean? Those are the little things. So, starting the business, did everything go smooth, or did you have any bumps in the road that you could think of? If so, like what? How'd you overcome some of those things?
We still have bumps, I think.
No doubt.
We just got a big bump with this price increase on material and everything. And you just got to work around it. You just got to keep going. But at the end of the day, you got to play the record all the way through. You know what I mean? It's easy to look at the tip of that iceberg and see, oh, wow, they're beautiful wife, family, cars, vacation. You know what I mean? It's not all that. It's what's below the surface. It's the fact that, you got a deadline and a job that needs done and everybody's tired and you want to you got to push forward and you got to figure out a way to make it happen. And we'd run into that on so many times. And I shoulder most of it because, to be honest, I didn't really know a lot about it. I ran a company, but I didn't know what it all took to run a company. Like, I was the front of the house, in the field, lunches and making it happen. You know what I mean? I didn't realize all the back of the house stuff. You know what I mean? The stuff that the office managers and the stuff that like accountants and all them did. All I did was went out there and sold it and made it happen. Right. And so that adversity, I mean, overcoming all that and figuring it out, like, you mean that you got to pay taxes, you gotta do this, you got to do that. You've got to accept the fact that you can't take on every job. As much as you want to. You've got to like prioritize, space it out, and you know what I mean, and work with everyone, and then learning to work with a team, you know what I mean? Because that's what it's all about. It's a team effort out there. It's not only about one person. We're only as good as our team, and putting the right people in the right places to do it, and trusting them. That was another thing too. Coming from being in the penitentiary and the background that I have, we grew up poor, grew up in the trailer park and stuff like that. I didn't have trust. Like, I didn't trust ever. I just thought someone was out to get, like, someone come up to give you a hug, like, what do you want? Like, or someone's like offering help. You're like, what do you want? What do you expect to get out of this? So I think letting go of all that and putting the right people in the right places and trusting that they're going to do the job, trusting that they're going to have not only mine, but my family's best interest at heart, because this is all for them, like, and their families, and putting all that together, I think, was the hardest thing to overcome.
How long has it been running? How long have you had this business?
5 years, 6 years. Oh, it's 6 years this year.
Oh, wow.
2015 to
Bobby the Builder.
2021. That's right.
Imagine another 6 years now that you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
How good it's going to be.
And that's
you're crushing it, man.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
It's amazing to watch you grow.
And that's something too. Like, I didn't just rest on that. I didn't sit back. Like, we did some stuff with cranes, so I went out and got a crane license. So I knew exactly how it worked. Roofing, after I Googled all this stuff, I actually learned about it. I read about it. That was something I fit in whenever everybody's like, it must be nice, 10, 11 o'clock at night. I'm reading about shower towel, and I'm reading about how footers and foundation. I'm reading about all this stuff at night, just because I want to know. So I didn't want to get caught off guard when someone was asking, and I didn't
what do you do here? You're like, well,
I wouldn't know what we were doing, So, and don't get me wrong, there's a lot of times too that Roger, he's he's great. He reels me in, is like, Bobby, we can't do that. I'm like, but it says we can.
You got to have somebody like that.
Yeah, we do.
Nat D reels me in, tells me we can't do that all the time too.
And she's great. She's amazing. You need that. Because if it was up to me, we would be putting a skyscraper right in the middle of Houston, PA. You know what I mean? He's like, hey, we got to slow down. Wait a minute. Let's start out with 6 stories first. You know what I mean? So,
Can you when you think back, growing up, could you imagine the position that you would be in today?
No, absolutely not. I never would have thought that I would be in the position to where I am. I never thought that I'd have a beautiful, loving, caring family. I never thought that we would have a business that, that I get messages all the time asking for sweatshirts and T-shirts. Like, hey, it's crazy. I'll get a picture of one from someone I have no clue who they are, and they ask, and I'm like, yeah, we'll mail it out. Send me your address, And just things like that. Like, I never thought for a second that we would be out and people would recognize who we are and what we do, and the fact that we could give back, and not at all. I thought I was going to live in a trailer park, what I mean, and just be just a 9 to 5, But it's crazy that's how it goes. I think I wanted more, because when I was growing up in a trailer park, I mowed grass, I shoveled snow, I delivered newspapers, did everything that I could to better myself. And I'll tell you, I went to the county fair, and I I had thrown these darts, and I'd won a poster that had a Rolex on it and a Lamborghini and stuff like that, and I put them on my wall, and I would look at them. I'm a true believer. If you manifest it, like, you just kept telling myself for years, like, I'm going to have these things. I'm going to have these things. Now, the road to get to them was a little rocky. I had them, they took them. I came back and got them again, and feels so much better to do it the right way, though,
Amen.
And so we just really feel like come a long way.
You said your middle name was the RJ. What was your middle name?
My name is Robert John, but
John.
The J stands for Josephine. That's my wife's middle name.
Gotcha.
Has like a dual meaning, kind of. You know what I mean?
I got to remember that. That was my grandmother's, my great grandmother's name, who I grew up in her house on the east side, and so. But I want to see. Speaking of middle names. Could you take a guess at what do you think Perm's middle name is? 3 guesses.
3 guesses.
Perm's middle name, 3 guesses.
3 guesses. It's going strong.
3 guesses.
3 guesses.
Oh, man. 3 guesses.
Come on, Bobby the Builder.
Come on.
Stanley.
Not Stanley.
Not Stanley. David.
No. Almost close.
Look at him.
Not a Dave.
Not Dave. Close?
No.
Not even close.
It sounded good. I can
Look
say
at him.
Oh, man, I'm on the spot here. We're close. I don't know.
One more. Come on. You got one in you, Bobby.
Robert.
You didn't do it. You didn't do it.
We got to tell you off air.
Off air.
We don't tell.
Okay.
We don't tell them on here. We got to see if anybody guesses.
We get them on here.
So close. Huh?
But
Not
Bobby,
even in the
man,
ballpark.
thank you for not only your time, man, but thank you for your heart for the kids
Appreciate
and
it.
everything that you do for inspiring minds, Pittsburgh,
I
and
thank you
overall.
I thank you for allowing me to be a part of it, because
It's fun together.
It is. The things that we do is amazing. Like, I leave out of there with a full heart, knowing that we've done our best to try to help out in every way. And I mean, and that all comes. You brought that down here. You just let us on the bus with you, and
We got our team and
Help it out.
we have fun, man. Shame on us if we can't, go do stuff like that after none of us deserving, any of the stuff that we got, man. But I'm just super grateful.
Thank you.
You've been one of the great people
Yes.
that God has led into my life over the last few years, man. You and your wife, and
Thank you.
and love having you in the circle.
Absolutely.
And I appreciate you, man, and your heart,
Thank you.
and not only the work that you do to provide jobs and opportunities and the business that we've done together, man, but just your heart as a person,
Definitely.
as an individual, man, and it's just a pleasure and honor to know you and have you on the
Appreciate it.
Grindcast.
Thank you.
He
I
But
texts
now
me
you
once a
guys
week.
have
This
The
guy.
hat now.
Yeah.
In the shirts, he was talking about people message him, speaking
Yeah.
of messaging them.
Yeah.
How would somebody
Boom.
get a hold of you if they wanted to get a hold of you and they're following you? How would they connect with you on social media or any way to get a hold of you, Bobby?
Probably the easiest way would be on Facebook through our RJ Steele Construction or RJ Steele Group accounts. Another thing would be phone call to 724-356-2271. And our office is in Hickory, PA. We're a little down south, down in Washington County. You could go there. Our internet, www.rjsteelconstruction.com. So, either that or
Or hit me up and I'll hook you up. Just
whatever.
message me and I'll swing you over to Bobby the Builder.
If you see me out, just say hi.
There you go. I love it.
Sure.
Well, thanks for joining us on another episode of the Grindcast. Get ready, it's a new day.
Count money, man. Stack riches. Try and told him I'm a beast, bud.